Hi Aries, welcome back to the Divine Dojo. My name is Gabriela and I'm here to do your reading for June 15th through the 21st. So I want to start with the transits and the astrological aspects that are going on for this week. But first, let's clear the energy. So just sit up tall and just take a nice deep breath in when I ping the tuning fork, and then release whenever you're ready. I'm going to do this 3 times just so you know. So deep breath in and release. Deep breath in. It's intense out there. Shit's hit the fan in the world, obviously, and it's going to get even more intense, and especially the 15th through the 18th. Just be aware, just be super careful, especially because Saturn is in your sign, Neptune is in your sign, and so there's a lot of energy that you have going on. So let's start with that. What's going on? So June 15th, Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to anybody that's out there. We have Mars and Leo squaring Uranus in Taurus, which will be intense energy. It could be impulsiveness, it could be restlessness, it could be swift changes, which can be good if these swift changes that you are making have a foundation, like it's something that you've been thinking about for a while, contemplating doing for a while, and it's a great time to pivot and do a rapid turn into and change, to do a radical change. But it's not good for risky, rash decisions, which Aries is like, doesn't think about it and just goes. And obviously I'm generalizing, but it just tends to be about me, myself, and I. So just be careful, because you're already a fire sign, a cardinal sign, and so you initiate a lot, and sometimes you're not careful. So I'm not saying to be careful, but there's definitely going to be chaos in the world. I'm saying be careful, but I'm not saying don't make the changes that you need to make. I'm stumbling with your reading. Also on that day, Jupiter in Cancer squares Saturn in Aries, even creating even more tension between like expansive energy and aspirations, and then the rigid restriction that Saturn gives your sign. It's like restricting the self, right? So what you want to do is get balanced. But it's a good energy for having empathy and then collaborating as well, as long as you're grounded and balanced and not flying off the cuff and being mean to people. So intense. And then June 17, Mars enters Virgo, which, is shifting the collective from bold, brave to more detail orientated and focused energy. Which is great because it's a prime time for like our routines, our health, making health plans, making plans for, how to execute that, making a schedule, doing grounded and practical efforts towards our goals. And then, but one thing to note with that transit, Mars entering Virgo, is that we need to avoid trying to be perfect, or having, if we are making changes, having it be perfect and knowing where it's going to go. None of us know, and the world is in chaos. And that's what it is. So just avoid perfectionism, do the changes, but avoid that. And then June 18th, Jupiter squares Neptune in Aries in your sign. So Neptune is like, the illusion, the stuff you don't know. it's not shocking. It's more of like a Pisces realm of like illusion, fantasy, the dream type of energy. So it's definitely like feminine and masculine energies clashing for sure, which can cause like emotional confusion, versus like being in reality and reality checking ourselves. So again, these 3 days, especially 4 days, June 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, you really, the whole collective, but Aries, because you have a lot of energy, a lot of big planets moved into your sign, so you definitely want to be grounded and avoid that impulsiveness and restless energy. And if you have it, channel it, try and channel it in a way of like working out, doing chores, getting housework done, shit like that. So, positive things. Definitely ground yourself, get into nature, put your feet in the grass, whatever, you like to do. And then June 20th, we have the sun entering Cancer and the summer solstice that day. So we move from like a lot of tension to more like self-care or care for others, care, more of a caring energy. The sun being in Cancer and then Jupiter being in Cancer too. So, but there's still a lot of tension. It's kind of going to be a big week. So, that's the astrological aspects and transits. I want to pull an angel number for you to start off with. I invite Spirit to give me a clear and concise message to deliver to the Aries collective. Oh, here we go. To the Aries collective. For the best and highest good. So you got 222. And it says alignment. That's what I was saying, like align, ground. It says, how do you move forward towards your true calling? Simply follow what brings you joy. Your passion and enthusiasm will be your guiding light. If something sparks your interest, follow it. These paths will lead you closer to discovering your life's purpose. Yeah, I 100%, like I said, making changes positively, if you are going to be impulsive and restless, try and channel it in a, positive way towards your goals instead of like reckless shit, Yeah, and driving too, extra careful this week driving, because a lot of potential accidents and, like I said, just raw energy, unforgiving energy. So I'm excited. I'm glad to be back. I wasn't able to do your full moon in Sagittarius reading because we had a ginormous thunderstorm here. And the power kept going out, and I kept fussing with it, and I was just like, fuck it. So, Spirit, give me one clear message. Thank you. Oh, that's interesting. You got the orphan. So, we're going to see what that's about, and we're going to read it at the end. I like how it's the snake and kind of the Ouroboros, but you have the beautiful, like, flower there. So interesting. The snake. Year of the snake too. So snakes are about shedding and wisdom, a lot of wisdom. Snake is, traditionally about wisdom and wisdom keepers, and they're looked down upon in a negative way, but I personally love them. So I think they're beautiful. But anyhow, yeah, a lot of wisdom, a lot of shedding. Sometimes the orphan can feel like abandonment or abandoning ourselves, So we'll see how that ties into whatever comes out in the tarot. So let's get started. I'm excited. I'm going to try to keep these freaking weekly readings shorter and do the monthly readings longer because they've just been going like way too long. All right, Spirit, what would you like Aries to know for the week of June 15th through the 20th, 21st-ish? Good. So you got the Six of Swords, a reverse. So you're definitely going through some transition. But maybe there's some unfinished business, maybe some emotional baggage that you're like maybe haven't let go of to move into this new cycle, because the cycle definitely has ended, and when a cycle ends, something new is about to start. So that's pretty exciting. The Saturn energy. Saturn is in your it's in your sign, so it just moved into your sign. The big potent energy, but you know, Saturn is restrictive. What else do you have to tell? Thank you. Well, there's definitely new opportunity for, you know, like abundance, manifesting some financial opportunities, you know, maybe moving towards those desires. Like I was saying, if you're going to shift to whatever it is that you've already been kind of contemplating on and thinking about shifting for a while, you know, and haven't done it yet. So now is the time to head into that. Yeah, because you've definitely closed a chapter here. So what else is going on? We'll get some clarifiers. So yeah, here's the Eight of Pentacles, putting in hard work into your desires, to your dreams, to your goals. And then we got the powerful energy of the moon and then the sun together, but the sun is reversed. So, you know, I feel like there's something about maybe you having doubts or fears, or, you know, again, going back to this Six of Swords reverse, so maybe you are, you have some unfinished business, you know, that you need to, and maybe whatever you haven't had clarity on, you're now going to get clarity, because this is the kind of, the moon is about like illusion, the unknown, not knowing, you know, it's about your dreams, about your intuition. Can also be fears, anxieties, things like that. And then the sun is, you know, powerful either way, upright or reversed, but it's time to step into that like fresh pentacle energy and look at whatever your situation is. And that this ending in like, looking at it with like good, fresh energy, but not being like super, you want to be optimistic, but not like super overly optimistic, because that's where that kind of like impulsiveness and restlessness energy, like where we want to like have something, you know, or start something and like go, and, you know, no, you want to put in the work step by step, you know, day by day, make a plan. That's what Mars and Leo is about, is making the plan, right? Sorry, I'm like, yeah, and you don't want to be like careless or arrogant, you know, and be bit in the ass for that. So, with your actions, I should say, you know. So slow and steady. I know the energy is going to be like revved up and you're going to want to go, but that's not ideal. Just, yes, make changes, and they can be fast. However, they need to be centered in, like I said, what you've already have been thinking about making changes. You've been thinking about it for a while, and now is the time to make those changes. So this is a week of a window to do that. So let's clarify. Why is the Six of Swords here? What is this about? Yeah, like maybe you haven't been, this is the Six of Pentacles, maybe you haven't, maybe whatever you were in before wasn't in reciprocal, like it wasn't reciprocating back to you what you were given to it, or vice versa. Maybe you weren't giving to it. But yeah, this is definitely like, this is definitely like heading into prosperity and sharing and collaboration. Like I said earlier, it's a good time to like be balanced and have empathy for other people's opinions and differences and all of that, and collaborate, and but keep a healthy, like and keep a healthy reciprocal energy, you know. This is all looking good though. Why is the sun reversed? Why is the sun here reversed? Maybe you need to play more. Maybe you need to get energized more. The queen, you have a lot of pentacle energy. Let's just see what's going on here. So you have the Queen of Pentacle. She's a very nurturing, giving queen, you know. She's practical, which is great with that Mars and Virgo energy. You have Temperance upside down. And then you have the Four of Cups upright. And then you have the King or Knight. I can't even see right now. I'm so blind. The King of Pentacles reversed. So you have the King and Queen here. So you have like the divine counterparts, but the King is reversed. The Queen is upright. So again, going back to this reciprocating energy, you know, you want to make sure moving forward in this new chapter, whatever it is this week, that or whatever changed this week, is that, you know, it's reciprocal energy. Yeah, and then with the, you know, with the Four of Cups is just, you know, taking time, not making rash decisions. Yes, you can make fast and quick decisions on things that you've already know that you've been thinking about making changes on. But contemplating, you know, and anything like impulsive or anything random that comes your way, you know, like sit there and think about it versus like reacting towards it, is what I'm saying. And then you have Temperance reversed, you know, and you don't want to be in balance. You don't want to be in extreme. You don't want to be in overindulgence. You don't want to have, you know, the addictions and things like that this week, you know, especially definitely don't drink and drive if you drink, but you definitely, I've seen alignment twice now. So yeah, I think it's all good. It's pretty good energy so far. I'm really interested to see what the Orphan is about. But let's see, why is Temperance here? Why is Temperance here? That's way too many. I'm going to take that one that flipped. The only one that flipped. So yeah, you got the Four of Swords, and this is a bit coming out a lot for everyone. So I think this is like a collective message, especially with the energies that I'm talking about, June 15th through the 18th, to really slow it down, take care of yourself. Don't make impulsive, rash decisions. Because the energies are intense and chaotic, and, you know, as above, so below. It's within us as above, so within, you know. So it's really just saying, take care of yourself. Don't be reactive, you know. Why is the King of Pentacles reversed? Why is the King of Pentacles reversed for Aries? Why is the King? Thank you. Well, I'm going to take it. The other one flew out too, but I'm going to take the one that flipped up. Yeah, because the King of Pentacles is it's time to change. You know, like I said, this reciprocal, the energy that's not reciprocal. You know, you want to move forward into love, partnerships, friendships, you know, job relationships that are reciprocal. It's time. You got the Death card upright, you know, and it's the number 13th, and you know, I'm filming this on Friday the 13th, so definitely endings. A new chapter is beginning for sure. You know, you just have to, endings, obviously, once something ends, something new begins, right? So it's definitely change and transformation, and, you know, moving into a new cycle. And to me, it's, you know, about like this, you know, the king and queen being in here, and just having everything like reciprocal, and leaving old relationship patterns, behaviors, jobs, friendships, or whatever behind that aren't doing that give and take, you know, reciprocal energy. So I like that. I'm going to end that there. So I want to pull a Wisdom of the Oracle card for you. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hope you guys are doing well. I know I don't think I've told you, but I moved from Los Angeles to Texas. It's been a change. It's been a week. Let me tell you, it's been a couple weeks. Oh yeah. Aries, this is exactly what needs to end. Okay, chaos and conflict within relationships, jobs, you know, partnerships, whatever. You do not want to engage in this week. This is a warning, my warning. You know, you can interpret it however you want, obviously. But that's my warning to you. You do not want to be in this energy this week at all, by any means. So be careful. Let me pull a Moonology card. Yeah, Aries, yeah, you definitely do not want to go there this week. You know, you're hot-headed, I get it. You're, you know, fire sign, you want to go, but you don't, just think about it before you do it. All right, Spirit, what is a moon message for Aries? This deck has not been wanting to talk today. So we'll see if it like check. Yeah, okay, thank you. Hold your vision, fixed moon. Yeah, so whatever it is that you're changing, whatever it is that it's ending and that you're starting new, hold the vision and move forward, but definitely move with empathy and a collaborative spirit, not chaos and conflict. Nobody wants that. I'm gonna pull an angel oracle card and I'll read the orphan. Alignment. How do you move forward towards your true calling? Simply follow what brings you joy. Yeah, and that's why the sun is here, right? This kid is like happy as a fucking clam on that horse, you know, just like living his life, the inner child. You know, just so happy with the sunflowers there, and you know, the red flag of like reminds me of the root chakra, you know. Yeah, fun, joy, warmth. What does this shit say? Fun, celebration, success, rebirth. You know, Scorpio card, death card. So yeah, vitality. Aries usually pretty much have vitality, but you know, when it's reversed, maybe that, you know, and like you're not being you're not in that like flow of back and forth and harmony with other people, collaborating, all of that, you know, that's what you want. So what's a clear message for Aries? Thank you. Your situation will improve. Yeah, it's you know, cycle is ending for sure, and it's improving. You have a lot of good cards and major arcanas with the sun, the death, the, you know, the moon, temperance. It will improve. You know, you just really want to stay away from this energy this week. So I'm going to read the Orphan to see how that ties it in, if at all. If it doesn't tie it in, then that means it's just a separate message, maybe for someone out there individually, or, you know, a smaller group of people. Interesting. So this reminds me of the Sun card reverse. Right, the kid. It says, the orphan, the wounded child, the abandoned, the beggar. To study the orphan is to study the deep and challenging energy of our time, for sure. We are ever more connected, yet face collective isolation, 100%. The refugee crisis haunts our planet and the migration planet. The migration, you know, stuff too. Not that it's a bad thing. I'm just saying, like, the politics and all of it around it, you know. Anyhow, that's a whole nother thing. The refugee crisis haunts our planet. Children are separated from parents, and the earth begs for our attention. We are in a time of universal orphanage, of course, of nature, of each other, of our own hearts. Take refuge in the fact that we all share this core wound and dilemma. It is normal to fear this card as it haunts the caverns of the soul. When it appears, take time, real time, to be in the presence of the feelings this card stirs in you. Let it humble you. What are you starving for? Yes, there's definitely a change and ending. What is it that you are looking for? I think it's this like reciprocity energy. Especially if like you're a masculine, you know, our masculine suffers really bad right now. I mean, not that women have always suffered to a degree in the system, but anyhow, I digress. I'm like really contemplative with your reading, Aries. What does it say? Sorry. It says, take time, real time, to be in the presence of the feelings this card stirs in you. Let it humble you. What are you starving for? What is the deepest gift you could imagine giving to others? Yeah, maybe it's like you're the one who hasn't been giving, you know, you've been receiving, you know, take it for what it is. Relationships, partnerships, you know, co-working relationships, all of that. There's times that when we give a lot, and there's times that, you know, we take a lot. So it's okay, but we want more of that reciprocal energy right now. What has been rejected is quite possibly what is most needed, dear one. Yeah, what has been rejected deep down, I think, is everybody living their authentic self and tapping into their inner child and like really doing what brings them joy. So that's what I have for you, Aries. I hope that helps for this week. Remember, stay out of this chaos and conflict energy. I love you all so much, and I'll see you next time.